All right, guys, so we got to talk about Portland because we can't ignore the fact that this city's population is declining, foot traffic is declining, and the crime rate in Portland is at an all time high. You just have tents in the parking lots, people doing drugs, homeless people everywhere, and Portland is basically the craziest city I've ever seen. There's basically nothing cool about it. In fact, the homeless situation in Portland is so messed up that I don't have words to put it. We talk a lot about San Francisco, but I think honestly, Portland is so much worse than San Francisco. Portland is literally a city where the moment you hear about it, it's like one of the worst towns you could ever go to. And now it's so bad that the Nike store, after 40 years, is now closing down because of theft and violence is growing out of control. This is Nike we're talking about. This isn't like some small mom and pop store. And obviously, several mom and pop stores around the area have already closed because the amount of foot traffic from tourists and also businesses and also just office workers have really declined. A lot of people have left Portland in massive droves. Portland is one of the fastest declining cities in terms of population and also real estate prices. And Nike is now going out of business. Nike literally said that they couldn't make any more money. Like, there's just not enough foot traffic, and not to mention there's always that occasional theft and shoplifting incident that really sets their profits and revenue back. And Nike is as capitalist as it gets. If they can't make money from a location, they're going to close down. And usually Nike stores always make a load of money, right? You got the pickup section, they're making money from that. You got online orders, they do online orders, okay? They make a lot of money from that. And also their physical locations make a ton of cash. I mean, go to Manhattan, go to Brickell, Miami, go to Las Vegas, for example. A lot of these high-end stores like Nike, Adidas, they don't close because their business is just phenomenal. But now a Nike factory store in Portland, Oregon, after 40 years, has finally shut down the store. And what they said was they're not going to reopen the store at all. Okay, and even we got some governors and government officials actually showing displeased about it. They don't like the idea that Nike left. And I can't blame Nike. I mean, seriously, if your business isn't making any more money, okay, even if you're Nike, you're not going to stay there. And they're leaving in a massive wave. Okay, it's not just Nike, guys. Several smaller stores around it, several offices, and also buildings have already gone out of business or went through the foreclosure and default section. I mean, look at this, right? Portland's Andy and Bax closing after nearly 8 decades. This is big. It's a Portland outdoor store. It's enormous, and we could all kind of know why they closed down. Intense of shoplifting and also the city basically going down the drain. We're seeing these types of incidences happening everywhere. Stores have been open for decades. In just 2023 have now fully closed down. A lot of these stores are icons. I mean, they pretty much make a city good, right? These are the stores that make a city interesting and make the city have an increasing population. And as these stores slowly close down, Portland's population is now slowly shrinking. And the consensus shows that Portland has lost 0.04% its population. The general population has declined for 3 straight years. Portland before the pandemic wasn't even that great of a city. It was okay, but it's recent that's been getting really, really bad. You're seeing a lot of crazy protests. You're seeing crazy high violence and crime in the city. And the homelessness situation is out of control. And what most business owners are saying is there's just not enough foot traffic. There's just nobody coming here for business. Nobody's coming here for vacations, right? Nobody wants to go here. In fact, I would much rather prefer San Francisco over Portland, and San Francisco isn't even that great of a choice. So Americans right now are starting to notice a lot of these left-leaning cities are a no-good situation. I mean, if you go to these left-leaning cities, you open a business, well, good luck, right? Basically throwing like a business into like a den of wolves. And the chances of those businesses making any money is very, very slim. When you have 2 very iconic stores being open for decades closing down, the city is practically in one of its last legs. And I said before, Portland is only getting worse. We're also seeing a massive fentanyl crisis in places like San Francisco. And let's talk about San Francisco, right? We're on the topic of San Francisco. Let's talk about it. Because we're also seeing a lot of hotel owners literally begging the city to get tourists back. Right? You got Park 55 hotels closing down. You got some of the best condos being canceled. You got One Oak canceled, Hayes Point's canceled, 40 to 50 story skyscrapers completely canceled. And there's basically no more money, right? If you go to Portland, construction has basically halted. Go to San Francisco, construction has basically halted. Many of the best restaurants, the best stores, and the coolest tourist attractions are no longer available. We're also seeing many tourists domestically and internationally stop going to places like these. Stop going to these very left-leaning places. People are much rather preferring vacations in Miami. Vacations in New York City, still very popular. Vacations in Texas, Las Vegas. There's so many better areas in America to go for vacation than a lot of these other cities. And what's even worse is many of these cities, like I listed, they really don't address the core issue, right? It's not about, oh, let's do pop-up stores. It's not about, oh, let's do this law to get more people coming in for investments. It's really simple. If you just clean up the homelessness, decrease the crime, stop doing that weird defund the police situation, and I guarantee you everyone's coming back to the city. And let's look at the defund the police situation. This is one of the reasons why San Francisco, for example, their shoplifting incidences are at an all-time high. Criminals basically run free. Even have people just stealing dozens of cars, and they finally got arrested, and it's like a very minimal sentence, just like maybe like a few months. That's it. And we also have a lot of these cities, like San Francisco, tourists are being targeted because tourists are the ones with expensive belongings in their cars because they're tourists. Imagine you're a San Francisco tourist, you park your car on a beach for 10 minutes just to look at the scenery, take a couple pictures, goes back, and everything, including passports, are stolen. Okay, a lot of these tourists are falling victim to crazy smash and grabs. And many international tourists who have very good outlooks for San Francisco and the Bay Area, they go here, they just leave something for like a few seconds and it's gone. Right? They rent a rental car, they put something in the car for like a few minutes and come back, the window's broken in. And it's happening everywhere. This really makes people not want to go to these cities. And people are starting to notice, right? And this is why Portland, you're seeing a Nike store closing out after decades. People are just sick and tired of this. Nobody's putting up with this, right? Nobody's putting up when a city is facing this much neglect. And when a city just doesn't care about businesses, the businesses shouldn't really care either. I mean, if they want to close down, they close down. They leave and go somewhere else. There's so many better places in the U.S. where you can actually prosper and make a lot of money. And that's exactly where these people are going. And if you look at San Francisco, just type in San Francisco on X, and you're going to be seeing some of the wildest stuff. A lot of crime as well here and there. And this is not exactly a place to be, right? You got like San Francisco tents and Nancy Pelosi's running again. Some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. Driverless cars just, becoming obstacles. I mean, I have no clue what to say. A lot of these cities are great. Portland, it could be great if they really do clean everything up. San Francisco will be the greatest cities in the U.S. if they have the lowest crime rate, all this kind of stuff. And like I said before, a lot of these cities, if they really just address the core issue, it's really not that hard. Just decrease the tents, man. I mean, decrease the drug use, decrease the homelessness, and just clean the crime, and everyone will just naturally come back. It's just how things work. So let's see what happens. Thanks for watching, guys. Comment below, like, subscribe for more.